Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome if you are new. Today we are going to be doing my April TBR and I'm so excited. If you've been living under a rock, you may not know this. However, two of my closest friends, Smash and Jem, are running Tomes and Treasures Readathon, which is based on D&D obviously. So if you don't know who Smash is, then it's Ashley from Ashley's Booktours Life, and Jem has changed her name recently and it's the Creepy Geek. I will leave it linked below. So the way that I've done it this month is I've still done my picks that I've been doing, so my indie book, series book, 12 books, 12 prompts book, but I've done all the rolls and spins prior because I wanted to see what I could get linked in with my Tomes and Treasures TBR. Tried to plan, you guys, I did. However, the TBR is still going strong. So I'm gonna say MBR again. I'm gonna say MBR. I keep saying TBR, but just know that I know that you know that I know that it's an MBR. We know. So my MBR TBR probably want to read kind of thing is, oh, I'm got one of the books out. She says she's been prepared. And the thickest thing that I need to read is not here. We move. So we're going to go with the series TBR pick first. So I'm going to flick back to previous Lisa. You're wonky. So I'm going to flick back to previous Lisa and we're going to find out what book we're going to be reading from my series TBR. So, as you can see, book 2 in the Curse Breaker series, A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer, will be getting read in the month of April. I am hoping that I really enjoy this. For one, these are dedicated and signed by Bridget, and for two, I adored book 1, but that was when I was in my full love of every single thing fantasy that I was reading, whereas my taste, although I've still got a lot of fantasy, you can see it's right there, the taste in fantasy that I have has slightly changed, and it's not just age category wise, because this is YA, but it's, I don't know, a lot of what I'm reading fantasy wise tends to skew more towards indie than trad, and I've unhauled a hell of a lot of trad, so I'm hoping that this is a series that holds up, because Raven Boys, I've been really enjoying that series, so like the Raven Cycle series. I'm hoping this is up there with that. Let's just keep our fingers crossed, because these are beautiful covers, and number 1 was just so good. I'm going to go into our indie pick. Just a small one. Just a teeny tiny book for the month of April to add. It's floppy though. It is floppy. We do love a good flop. The Price of Power by, I think it's Michael Miquel. If I'm saying his name wrong, I'm sorry, but that's how it reads to me. It's Michael Miquel. And yeah, this is surprise indie, not surprise fantasy, and I was sent a copy of this a while ago to review and I haven't reviewed it yet, so this also means that I'm getting to my review copies as well, so yay for me. And I think this is like a US paperback size, because our paperbacks are not this size, but I do seem to prefer the size of the US paperbacks, which is a problem, because when book 2 comes out I'm going to want the US paperback, and it's probably going to come in tiny UK size. Anyway, that's a problem for another day. We're going to move on to my 12 books, 12 prompts, friend pick. So, as you can see, Chloe from Chloe's Books was my pick for April. I've been doing quite well with these so far, with my friend picks. Obviously the ratings have varied, but if I'm correct, the ones that I've picked so far, I have read all of them and I've fulfilled all the prompts. And the prompt for this one, for Chloe, is to read a book that lifts your spirits. So for that, I'm probably gonna try and dive in to some manga, and it's probably gonna be Spy Family, because I do have volumes 1 to 9, and I think I'm on volume 4. I think, possibly, we'll see. But there is another book in my stack that I want to read for Tomes and Treasures that could potentially fulfill this prompt as well. So those are the ones that I really want to get to for my standard picks. I'm going to move on now to some read-alongs that I want to take part in. So the first, which is a book that I'm going to read right at the beginning of the month, is Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J Maas. This is the final in the Throne of Glass series. This will round out the only Sarah J Maas series that I'm not either caught up with or have read in full. So once I've read this, I will be fully caught up to date with everything Sarah J Maas, and that makes me feel accomplished in life. So this is a read-along that's also run by Smash and Tori from Scottish Lass Reads. I will also be reading, because this is like technically it's a March book, but I'm pushing it to April because this also fits the Tomes and Treasures prompt, and she also very thick. But we will also need to be reading Court of Thorns and Roses, which is the next series we'll be reading in the Mass-along. So I think we are anyway. I'm putting it on here because I think we are. I'm sure we are. Unless my brain is fogged up and made this up. If I've made this up, I'm sorry. I won't be reading this. But if I haven't made it up and we are moving on to Court of Thorns and Roses, the ACOTAR series, then I will be reading this. This is my confused face. Look at that stack right there. Isn't it looking pretty thick? We love to see it. We love to see it. And then the next book that I need to read for a read-along that I'm hosting with Chloe from Persistent Bookworm. This is the last book in the Christopher-long series that we'll be doing, and it is Empire of the Damned. The physical copy is on my shelves. It's a beautiful Illumicrate edition. I will be reading the audiobook version, and I might just grab a cheap copy on Kindle if it's cheap enough, just so I can make some notes and stuff as well. We'll see. But yeah, Editing Lisa will put a picture up here. Next up is a new one that's going to be starting, and that is run by, I want to call her a Zebra because she's in my phone as Zebra, and it's stressing me out. If I ever slip and call her Zebra instead of Andy, you know that it's Andy from the Zebra Reads. Likelihood is I'll slip up at some point and forget that I've called her Zebra instead of Andy, assuming that you all know what I mean. But just know in the back of your mind, if she says Zebra, she means Andy. So it's the Poison Study, is also Chronicles of Ixia series by Marie V. Schneider that starts with Poison Study. I do have the books on the way to me, but we will be starting with Poison Study in April for the live show in May, so I can leave this till near the end of April, and I think I will do. This is a brand new series for me. Is it a series that is really long and like, yeah, it is. I'm starting another long series. It's fine because I've finished the Sarah J Maas series. Even though I am rereading them, I finished my first read through of the Sarah J Maas series once I finished Kingdom of Ash. So I think that starting a new one is fine because I'm not classing rereads as part of series that I need to continue. Am I? No, we're not. We're not doing that. And I think that is the tops and bottoms, the lefts and rights, the ups and downs, the ins and outs of what I need to do for my standard MBR that I do on a monthly basis. And next we're going to move into Tomes and Treasures. And can we just appreciate the lovely little handbooks that were done. And I printed these off at A5 because I'm probably going to stick these in my journal somewhere. And I might even I've got a D&D journal that I've started for a character that I've made for the D&D campaign that I started with Smash. We did a one-shot a while ago for Smash's birthday. And I do have that a journal that I do my character stuff in there. But I might start another one for this character. Because depending on how we get on with her, will depend on whether I keep her for different campaigns that I might end up taking part in. I'm trying to find a local D&D to where I live, because I really would like to join a campaign in person as well. But yes, the lovely Gem from Gem's, no it's not, she's not Gem anymore, she's Gem from the Creepy Geek, and Smash from Ashley's Bookish Life. Also, if I keep saying Smash, you all know it's Ash from Ashley's Bookish Life, but it's Smash and Gem. They are the wonderful hosts of this readathon, and the work they've put in is just crazy. So there's a handbook that has like a beginner's guide to the races, the classes, etc. And then the appendices is like the prompts, and there's prompts for each race, and background and deity and everything in there. There's also additional prompts that you can fulfill between round 1 and round 2 that get you coins in order for you to purchase things from the inventory. It's very well thought out, and it's just, yeah, I will leave them both linked below along with the announcement videos. They explain it better than me, so there's that. So for this I have my trusty journal, and we're going to go through from top to bottom. So my character's name is Kiara Ursula Neve Tattersheath, and if you know, you know. But I had to get a bit of Lisaism in there somewhere. And I am a tiefling. My character for the one shot I did with Smash was also tiefling. I think tiefling is my vibe. Tiefling is just going to be the thing that I always go to as a race. My classes may change, other things may change, but the likelihood that I will be a tiefling, yeah, probably 90% guaranteed. So, if you are a tiefling, queer book, which is so broad, all the prompts are quite broad, they tried to make them as broad as possible, so love that. Iris Kelly Doesn't Date is a book that I would pick it up. This was gifted to me, but also works perfectly because I loved Delilah Green Doesn't Care, Ashton Parker Doesn't Fail, and I'm looking at my shelves now and I really want to read them again. But, you know, it is what it is. You can't double up on these prompts other than the alignment, which technically, like, the alignment of colours on the cover, so you can be like chaotic good, chaotic neutral, neutral good, etc. And those obviously you can mix and match the colours on there, but other than that the prompts can't be doubled up. So this is what I'm doing for tiefling. So Warlock, A Book with a Deal, this is the one that I haven't picked up. I still have the indie bind up version of this, and it's Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. This is the first in the series, the bargaining series. Andy did give me A Strange Hymn to read as her book for the 12 books, 12 prompts, but to be fair to her, the Strange Hymn was like way up on my Goodreads and Rhapsodic was like way down, so she didn't see that. But that just means I can read book 1 in preparation for when Andy's book comes up like later on in the year. See, I can use my brain. The next prompt is to do with your background and your upbringing environment. So the background can be sort of like folk hero, guild artisan, acolyte. I have chosen guild artisan because the prompt for that one is to pick a book that fits the vibe. So this is the case for both the background and the upbringing environment. So the guild artisan prompt I've picked, where is it? I've picked The Price of Power for that one because there's a sword guy on the front, and I'm assuming that he is good with the sword because he's holding it on the front of the cover. If I'm wrong, I'll pick another book, but that's what I'm going off. That's what I'm going off. That's the vibe. That's the vibe. And then field upbringing environment is Village, a book set in that environment. And I did message Jem about this, and I can't remember what book I picked. Not gonna lie. Editing Lisa might have to come back and tell you that one. Said to her, does this count? And she was like, yeah, go for it. And then I didn't pick the book up off my shelf. For reasons I know not. Oh, no. I'm picking a cozy mystery for that one. Because it's a village, but a small town could also be classed as a village. And one of the series, in many of the series that I read that are cozy mystery, they are all set in small towns. So it will be one of the various series that I've started that are set in small towns for cozy mysteries. And do not at me, nor should you ask how many cozy mystery series I have ongoing, because the answer will be the limit does not exist. Okay, moving on swiftly. Deity. I chose God of Death. How very bright and happy. There's bones on the cover, and I used my brain, and it doesn't have bones like the image of a bone, but it does have the word bones. And this is Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrew. I adored Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrew, and I cannot wait for this to come out. It comes out in April. As soon as it comes out, I will be snatching it up, and I will probably do a mixed media immersion read of like audio and physical, because if the vibes of that make me feel anything like Whispering Dark, the tingles will be felt, the brain will be tingling, all the vibes will be there, and I cannot wait to read that book. I'm so excited. I'm really hoping it lives up to the hype, but in that way I'm trying not to get too hyped about it, because I was really hyped about reading The Restless Dark, and then that just seriously failed me. So I'm hoping that because I've read from Kelly Andrew before, that the vibes are just going to be the same. And I keep saying vibes because I don't know why. Anyway, moving on. Your alignment. This is the one where you can double up. And mine, I chose Chaotic Good, because I'm naturally a good person and I am also slightly chaotic. And I picked this because the colours are orange and yellow on the cover, and you can't really see the orange all that well, but it's at the bottom there, and like little specks of orange, and there's lots of yellow. So I'm going to put that down now because my wrists are hurting because I held it with one hand. So yes, the next one is armour, and as a warlock you can only choose no armour or light armour, and I chose light armour. And light armour is light or pale cover, and I chose, I'm finally getting to this, will I be scared and like make like regret choices possibly, but Black Coast by Mike Brooks. This has been on my TBR for a while. I saw Cassie from Covers with Cassidy, really enjoyed this one. I've not heard the best things about the sequel to this, so that also scares me. But I have also heard that this could be slightly confusing, because I do love the fact that there's no like he, she in this. Like the pronouns are all very different, and I've told like I love that, but also I've been told that it can get very confusing because it can take a while to understand who they're referring to, because the pronouns are very different and very like confusing. So that's the only thing that makes me a little bit nervous. The size doesn't intimidate me at all, because I mean my favourite authors have come out with like 700, 800, 1,000 page books, so that bit's fine. It's just I've heard so many good things about this. I'm nervous about continuing it if I do like it, but I'm also just a bit, I might get a bit confused, so I might get the audio and like immersion read this one as well, possibly, if there is an audio. I don't know if there is an audio for that one. But the next one is you can pick your weapons and or spells, and I'm a warlock and I could choose 2 spells or a spell and a weapon. So I decided to go for a spell and a weapon. So the spell is Magic Missile, and the prompt is a magic as a weapon. So I've decided to finally start another series. I realised I've started so many series and I've just Percy Jackson. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? I don't know. But I've decided to start the Percy Jackson series, and I haven't got the physical book yet, but I will be getting a hold of the audio. It's just coming from my library, in fact. So I do want the physical copies of those books as well. But yeah. I have a problem. Anyway. Oh shit, I did this one as well, didn't I? I haven't got another book down that I need to read, so hold please. So my weapon is a rapier, and it's to read a book that pierces your heart or a book that makes you cry. Do you remember the first time I read this on the coach from Becca's and I cried? People looked at me like I was a weirdo. I mean, I am, but I don't need people to look at me like that. I mean, come on, what the fuck? But yeah, I started my reread of this in February with The Fall, and I'm now moving on to the first book in the series. If you don't know, and you haven't seen me before, hi, my name is Lisa. I'm obsessed with this series, and this is the Bound and the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. It was a series that got me into this sort of like indie fantasy, and I'm now in a world of indie fantasy that's just crazy. But it's all thanks to this author. So yeah, thanks Ryan for breaking my bank account and my heart. Moving on. And then I did a dice roll. Did I do a dice roll? I'm trying to think, did I do a dice roll? Yes, I did a dice roll. I did a dice roll. I will put that in here. So we're going to do the dice roll. And it is 3. It is 3. So this dice roll was for the stats test, and number 3 came up. For the stats test, you were supposed to pick a list of books 1 to 20, and then roll a dice, and then pick the number. But I already had so many lists ongoing for this year, I didn't want to add another list or create another list. So I just used my series list and just picked like from the 1 to 20 that was there. So Blue Lily Blue came up, and this is amazing because I get to continue a series. I'm not just starting series this month, I'm continuing them as well. And that is the 3rd book in the Raven Cycle. So yay for me. When it comes to earning coins, I will be just reading books and working out what they cover, what prompts I can use for that book. You can earn coins between the first round and the second round. I think the second round, they're hoping might be later on this year, potentially. But there's going to be, you know, a while where you can sort of accrue coins so you can purchase things from the inventory. So yeah, I'm really excited to dive into that readathon. And it's been so lovely to see like Smash and Jem get so excited about all the sign-ups and people choosing their characters, and just everyone's having a fun time. And you don't have to be massively into D&D or into D&D at all to understand how the readathon works or to take part in the readathon, because the beginner's handbook tells you everything you need to know about classes and races and alignments and all that jazz, and the prompts are so broad, they're not specific to D&D. It's just, yeah, I'm excited, can you tell? But that is not all my reading friends. You think, Lisa, you've listed a few books there. April only has 30 days in it. You also have a full-time job. I'm well aware of this, friends. But have I put things on my MBR as well that are outside of this scope? Abso-freaking-lutely. So let's just dive in to the extra books that I put on my TBR. First is this super tiny, totally not intimidating read called The Hero Interviews. Me and Lindsay Jardine used to do a buddy read every single month. We have both slipped over the last couple of months, and shame on me for doing that because I've totally blanked on these buddy reads. But we will be starting The Hero Interviews And oh my god, look at the flop! This is by A. Ewington, and this was kindly sent to me by the author. And this literally is a series of interviews. And I've never read anything in this kind of format before, so I'm super excited. We're gonna have to split this out into, I don't know how many pages this is. How many pages is this? Oh, Jesus Christ, on a bicycle, it's like 680 pages. It's fine, I'm fine, we're fine, everything is fine. This might be a read that goes over a couple of weeks because it's also just a physical read. Can't get the audio for that. Anyway, and the next one that I will be reading is another one that looks like a bit like a US paperback rather than a UK size. I'm hoping, why can't the UK do books this size? You don't know, but I'm just saying. The Bloodstones by Tori Tekken. I will also be getting, I do also have Phased by Tori Tekken on my Kindle. And Phased is a dystopian. I think it's a dystopian book. But this is Tori's first fantasy book, and I've heard so many good things about this. And I feel like it's going to be right up my alley. And I do also have the audio for this, and I'm so excited. And I just love the artwork. Can we appreciate the artwork, please? Thank you. Thank you very much. Another one that I'm considering also audiobooking is there's a tour for this, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet. So I'll be just doing a promotional post about this today, the 28th, when I'm filming this. But Alien Clay by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I read the first chapter of this, and it seems very intriguing. And it's out of my comfort zone. So we shall see. It's not that long in terms of like page count. I don't think it's like under 400 pages. So yeah, I was kindly sent this by Tor and Black Crow PR, so thank you very much. I will be, like I said, partaking in the promotional tour for this book. There is also another book coming out by Adrian Tchaikovsky in May, I want to say. It's called, is it Radio Silence? I want to say, or the stereo. Something about a radio. And something about silence, and there's a robot arm on it holding a cup of tea. Is it a cup of tea? A cup of some kind. Maybe. Unless I've made that up in my head. I don't know. That's what's in my brain. That's what I think I remember seeing. And I'm sure the Broken Mind are doing a special edition of it. Anyway, that's... I have a couple of his books now. Quite a few. 3? A few. And I haven't read any of them. But I did realise that I did get it wrong. I think I said in my vlog the other week that I'd got like the third in a series by accident instead of, but I haven't. I got the first in a series, the Shadow Apt Shadow series. You can tell how great I am at this stuff. And then somehow I've missed books 2 and 3 and book 4. It's being sold by the Broken Banner now, so I was like, whoopsie, I need to find books 2 and 3, and they're not available in hardcover in normal editions, but I might have a way of getting them, so that's not something you need to know about. I'm just saying, I do have a couple of his books and I've not read any of them, and I've heard very mixed reviews about his writing, but one of the books that I do have apparently has a sentient spider in it, and I am not sure how I feel about that, but I'm interested but also scared, because I'm scared of the arachnids. And the next 2 that I would like to get to, these are sort of like April/May reads, and I'm going to show you these amazing covers because they're like spines, the spinach, and the first book is The Return of the Knights, and the second book is The Fall of the Giants. Look at the pretty! Can you see the pretty? These are both by Gregory Cataxis, because we, as in me and Chels from Not So Secret Bookaholic, are doing a tour for The Fall of the Giants, which is book 2 in the series. So we don't have to read the books for these tours, but it just so happens, Coinky Dinkler, that the books that we are doing tours for are books that we are also very interested in reading. So it makes sense, doesn't it? We do the tour and we personally read them and review them. It also helps me get through books that I've been reading. This has been on my TBR so many times. If you look back to my videos, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to try and read this, I'm going to try and read, and then I just don't. But this is the perfect time to celebrate second book of the series coming out. These are both physical reads. I don't think there's an audio for this. If there is, I will do an immersion read, but obviously there isn't an audio for this because this hasn't been released yet. But yeah, I'm so excited. Much wow. And will I also probably just slide in a couple of cozy mysteries into there? Probably. these cozy mysteries that I've been reading, I'm like, in the speed that I read at, like 2.5 hours long at push. There's a couple that have only been like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and they're all on audio. Like, I've been getting them on Scribd, and I've got a couple of them including my membership on Audible. So yeah, I've been really enjoying those. I would at some point love to have just like a shelf of different cozy mysteries that I could just go and pick up whenever I wanted. The only issue with that is a lot of them are only available in mass market paperbacks because they're like older books or indie books, and they can be quite expensive if they're indie books. Like the Jana DeLeon books are like £12 each, and the series is like 20 books long. So you do that maths in your head, because I can't be asked. But yeah, just on one series alone, I appreciate it's a lot of books, but they're all about like 200 pages each. And I'm also well aware that I do spend that on manga, but we're not going to talk about that either. Anyway, moving on, because we're getting a bit carried away with talking about things that don't need to be talked about in a TBR video. That is my TBR.
Oh, wait.
Hi guys. I was just about to put my camera away, and I realised that that wasn't everything on my mandatory to read list, because we have to read The Grace of Kings for the It's All About Fantasy Book Club, hosted by myself and Chels from Not Stick Bookaholic. So just another teeny book to add to my TBR. I'm okay. If you are reading any of these, please let me know. And if you have read any of these and would like to share your opinions on any of these books, I would also like to hear that as well. I feel like my head's a bit of a shed right now, and I don't know why. So I'm going to go get some food and drink, and I'll see you all when I see you. So if you do like me and you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And if you're here and you want me to know you're here, but you don't have anything to say, please leave a black heart. It's very much appreciated. And until next time, enjoy whatever you're reading, watching, or doing. I'll see you all very.
I left my phone at my brother's place. It's not my fault, don't walk away.